know you're asking, what are we doing here at 8 o'clock in the morning for Halloween Horror Nights? But we are here for the VIP Behind the Screams Unmasking the Horror Tour. So instead of listening and looking at my face, why don't we just go ahead and go inside and see what it's all about. Here we go to the Halloween Horror Nights Unmasking the Horror Tour. It is a lights on tour featuring either you can do a 6-house tour or a 3-house tour. We did the 6-house tour featuring House of a Thousand Corpses, Depths of Fear, Nightingales Blood Pit, Stranger Things, Yeti, and the 1984 blockbuster Ghostbusters. Okay. We are starting off here at Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, here at Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen. The outside facade is absolutely great. It's all lit up in neon at night. But when you go in and you go straight into Captain Spaulding's Museum, there's things all around the place. You definitely want to look around if you have a chance. You do this tour, you definitely have a chance. There's so many little hidden gems that you have to keep your eyes open at all times. As a huge Rob Zombie fan, I just wish I could show you everything that I saw in this house. If you are a Rob Zombie fan, if you are a House of a Thousand Corpses fan, Devil's Rejects fan, you need to take this tour to see this house. It's even the little things, like in the Firefly family house, the wallpaper, everything that's there is not just, oh, well, I hope this looks like it. No, it is an exact replica of the wallpaper from the movie. There's so many little things in that I am not able to show you here in this video, but you have to take this tour and go check it out, especially this house in particular. This is probably one of my top 2 or 3 favorite houses in the entire thing. So glad I was able to do the tour. Next up, the Depths of Fear house, where you and this crew are trapped in a submarine that is now overrun with creatures called mouth brooders. By the way, these photos of said crew are actually photos of the creative team that helped develop the Depths of Fear house. And you and the crew, or at least what's left of them, have 3 minutes to get to your escape pods and get out as safely as possible from these mouth brooders. Now, it is explained to us that unlike a Hollywood movie that has, by the way, that's Tyler, that's not a mouth brooder, where a Hollywood movie has 90 minutes to explain sometime within that time frame exactly what you're supposed to be afraid of. Depths of Fear dives in, pardon the pun, dives into it right away. Oh, that guy dives into it right away by showing you what a mouth brooder is right from the get-go. It's a fish-like creature, about 6 feet or so, depending on, but they do a great job of getting right at it and letting you know what you are supposed to be afraid of. Because whatever you're afraid of did that to that, bro. And this house does a great job at using technology to move the story along. They have these screens, such as this one here. Well, it looks black during the daylight. It actually looks like you're underwater, so it has these screens like television sets. And so it looks like you're underwater. It's very, very cool. And this house does a great job of just letting you know how panicked you should be by giving you sirens and auditory cues. 30 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining. Get out, get out. It's no longer 2019. We have traveled back in time to ancient Rome for Nightingales Blood Pit. Now, if you're a fan of Halloween Horror Nights, which I assume you are because you are watching this video, you may remember Halloween Horror Nights 21, Nightingales Blood Prey. Also, Halloween Horror Nights 25, a couple of the Nightingales were involved in Jack's house. So a super popular house returning for Halloween Horror Nights 29. There's a lion eating a man, which is no way foreshadowing later on in the house. So we're just going to hang out here in Okay, listen, the puns don't get any better, so you might as well just get used to them. If you see floors like this, by the way, this rubber mat, be aware that there will be some water effects somewhere in that room. And right here, this little asshole pin right there, that pinhole, he's going to get you soaked when you're walking through there. So there's going to be some blood dripping. You're going to think it's blood. It's just water. Spoilers. Now, as this is a Halloween Horror Nights original house, unlike the IP houses such as House of a Thousand Corpses or Stranger Things, we are able to film more in some of these houses, such as Nightingales in Depths of Fear. So hopefully you are enjoying some of the longer, in-depth videos that I'm able to post here. Hashtag spoiler, remember that lion? He's back.
And then if you could do me a favor, as soon as you cross this line, no more photos.
And welcome to Hawkins Middle School, home to the ever popular and longest line at Halloween Horror Nights, Stranger Things. Now, it's not just a replica. Halloween Horror Nights just didn't want a replica of Hawkins. They actually partnered with Netflix to ensure that every single detail is screen accurate, even down to the casting of the characters. Members of the Halloween Horror Nights creative team visited the actual show sets during the filming of Stranger Things 3 to study the details that we'll see later on in the house. In fact, Netflix also provided the Halloween Horror Nights team with actual official set photos to help them bring the sets to life. And as we jump into Hopper's cabin, you will see some of those small, intricate details that every Stranger Things fan is going to love. And I'm not going to point them out, but Stranger Things fans, you will also love the opportunity to see Max or Mike in this scene, depending on which cast you get there in that particular time. They're 45 minutes on, 45 minutes off. And while this looks like a big mind flare, they get bigger. In fact, later on in a scene we didn't get to film in the food court, there's a mind flayer so big it takes 3 puppeteers to move them during the event. And then we are going to head into the last room of the tour. Again, this video I know does not do this tour justice. We get to walk through. I think there's 14. Hey, look, there's me. You get to walk through 14 rooms on this tour, and unfortunately, we're only allowed to take pictures or film in 3 of them. So, oh, it's a Russian. Hey, it's actually my friend Matthew. Hi, Matthew. Here at our next house, the Yeti Terror of the Yukon. You'll notice that the stage is set immediately upon walking in to tell this story. Unlike the IP houses that you know and love, these original houses, that's a lot of flannel. This could be my house. As I was saying, these original houses need more scenes to tell the full story. So outside the house, as you're walking in, you'll notice that the furniture is knocked around, cabin walls are knocked down, things are strewn about, leaving you just exactly what happened here. My guess is it wasn't a wild lumberjack party. I mean, I've been part of a lumberjack match before, but not a lumberjack party. Um, my personal guess is that there are some Yetis about causing trouble. And while the Horror Nights creative team likes to use real life props and actors to bring their stories to life, sometimes they have to implement technology to enhance the story a little bit. Right outside this castle, like in the woods, they'll use some screens. We'll use some screens. Ah, there they are. Some windows that'll project images of those pesky Yeti fighting inside the cabin. But then once you go inside the cabin, there's no actual Yeti, so it gives you that feeling of uneasiness. Like, are they here or are they not? But believe me when I say that they are. Now, inside the cabin and even outside the cabin, and these, you go inside, outside, the level of detail is second to none. Yes, those are real fur. Um, I that mallard, I wasn't sure if that was a real mallard. I didn't ask him. Maybe when I go through the second time, I will ask him if he is real. If he doesn't respond, then I know he's fake or dead. Um, oh, there's another one of those rubber mat floors. So if you remember, if you see those rubber mat floors, you are about to get wet. And that's usually blood. Ooh, there it is. There. Hold on. Nope. Hey, hey, me. Go back over to the blood. Um, we're almost there. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, there we are. Yeah. So you see blood. Most of the time, you see blood. It's going to be squirted at you of sorts. So there's going to be those rubber mats on the floor. See those rubber mats? Know that you're about to get wet. Um, unless it's cold and the blood just freezes over. Oh, one thing I want to talk about real quick. We're gonna have a serious moment. Is you see this saw and you see the tape on the top of that saw? Do you know why that's there? It is there because people like to touch everything. And what happens when people touch saws? They cut their damn fingers off. So don't touch stuff inside the haunted houses if you want to keep your fingers. That was my TED talk. My Yed Yedi talk. All right, and okay, that's enough of that. All right. So this house boasts some of my favorite scares throughout Halloween Horror Nights 29, including if you see, keep an eye out for my lone woodsman friend. He's hiding out in the woods. He's trying to be sneaky. He's trying to be quiet. He's trying to not to be killed by the Yetis. He's doing a decent job. I'll just leave it at that. This is another one of my favorite areas here, this open woods area where Yeti can be seen from above. But remember, where you see one Yeti, you don't see others. Because while you're up here looking at this guy, there's another one of his friends that's swiping down and trying to take your head off with his Yeti claws. It's a great distraction scare, a technique that they use in this house a ton. And this tour gave me an absolute appreciation for this house. It's definitely one of my favorite and possibly my favorite overall original house. And while not officially listed on the tour, you do get to walk past Jordan Peele's Us. You can stop and take a picture in front of the if you've seen the movie, you can take a picture in front of the funhouse featured in Jordan Peele's Us. And we've made it to the greatest house in Halloween Horror Nights history, and that is Ghostbusters. Now, unfortunately, they only let us take photos and limited photos in two of the rooms, so hopefully you still get to enjoy it a little bit. I do have to tell you about this desk. It is the most advanced prop in Halloween Horror Nights history. Everything has a job. You move the coffee cup, the trap smokes, and it just gives you the warm fuzzies when you see it in person. And while I can't show you everything, I can still tell you a few things, such as keep your eyes open in the Slimer room, the proton pack that they are wearing. That's the new proton pack for the movie coming out next year in 2020, as well as a flaming phantasm ghost. Which one is it? Well, his head's on fire. And thank you for hanging out with me for the 2019 Halloween Horror Nights Unmasking the Horror Tour. That's a lot to say. Tell your friends.